Oh, come on. Come on, you piece of junk. Come on, start, not again. Oh, let's see if the radio still works. Yeah, well, yeah, there's, oh, that show Motor Mouse is on.
And good morning and welcome to your Motor Mouth Show, your SLO County Car Talk show featuring Mr. Stop and Mr. Go. This is Jeff Spevack, Continental Motor Works, known as Mr. Go for the next hour. Sitting next to me, Per Matheson, Mr. Stop. Happy New Year, Matt.
Happy New Year to you, Jeff.
Well, good morning.
Yeah. And, you know, the starter on that car is exactly the same as it was last year.
Yeah? Well, some things don't change.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, everything seems to be just falling in together if you got New Year, but the only thing you do, you got to change it right down a different number.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Everything, yeah. Different number.
Yeah, pretty soon everybody's going to have to dial 805-543-8830.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
You mean you have to
the overlay for the area codes. That's right.
By orders to the area, you have to dial the area code for local calls?
You will.
When will that begin? Do you know?
In the next couple months.
Okay.
I believe, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Because they're creating a different area code, or
the 820 area code.
Oh,
Or
okay.
something like that.
Is going to move into this area also.
Right. There's going to be an overlay.
Wow.
They call it an overlay.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Yes.
No, you got, if you have an automatic dial,
Yeah.
for example, on your cell phone,
Yeah.
you have to reprogram
You have to
that.
redo those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public service announcement from the Motor Mouse.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we are a live call-in car talk show every Saturday morning here from 8 to 9 a.m. And the way that works is we talk about cars, but we want to talk about what you would like to talk about. So we would like you to call us. Our phone number is 543-8830. That's 543-8830. And this show is so much more interesting and so much more fun for us when you take part in it. I mean, we can talk and we can talk and we can talk. We're Motor Mouse, but we'd rather be talking with you. So please call us, 543-8830. If you have a car story, car question, something funny going
problem.
on. Yeah, something going on with your car, like a warning light or a funny noise or a not so funny noise, or you're not sure what to do with it. You're not sure whether to keep it or sell it, or you're thinking about buying another car and you want some advice, or you got some pet peeves for other things on the road or whatever. Call your Motor Mouse, 543-8830. The first caller will win a premium. So if you're the first caller, you're going to win a prize at Continental Motor Works. And so we invite you to call us.
So this is a whatever called a show, yes.
Yeah. As long as you can kind of weave it to relate it to cars. I mean, even if you're having a relationship issue that relates to your car, we'll put you on the Motor Mouth couch.
And we are back in live shows this week, too. So
that's right. We've had last two shows were recorded.
Because of the holidays.
And so sorry about that, but we took a little time off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I drove, I've been talking about my Class A Winnebago Sightseer 27-foot. And her name is WinnieRose, by the way.
The name of it is WinnieRose.
WinnieRose.
Yes. Have you written that on it yet?
Not yet. So we're going to take the Bago off the back of the Winnebago and put in Rose, so it'll be WinnieRose.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah. So we took WinnieRose to Arizona.
Oh, very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He likes the warm country.
And so this was the maiden voyage for us. And the WinnieRose operated great. She didn't miss a beat. She drove good. She operated good. She was fun to sleep in and cook. We cooked and it was safe. It was great. So the voyage was great. No problems.
And where did you buy this?
Well, I bought this motorhome from Sky River RV here in Pismo, and it's a used motorhome, 33,000 miles, so 13 years old, and worked out great.
Okay, good.
Worked out great. Yeah. Pat on the back for Sky River RV. Good place, good folks, very knowledgeable about RVs, and really a lot of nice people down there, and worked out well.
Good.
Worked out well. So, so it's a good, drive. It's a different experience. It's a Class A. It's got a panoramic view, which is really amazing. It takes a little getting used to because you're just, especially going through something like the Mojave Desert. Yeah. It's just amazing. Right. It's like being on a tour bus or something. And so we'll get back to talking about that because first we're going to talk to Sean from Pismo. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
No problem. Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that's listening, if they are gearheads and motorheads, Santa Maria Raceway is going to be opening up late March. I believe it's March 25th for their first race of the season. And I tell you what, man, last year was my first year of racing there, and I had an absolute blast. My mom had a blast watching. My whole family comes out and watch. It's a really, really good time.
Matt, have you ever been down there?
Oh, yeah. I used to have a friend for the military, and he had a car he was running on there. So we put different kind of suspension on it, and so we had a different than the other people have, but so in order for cornering and so forth. So I was down there. I used to go to Tascadero, to the clay track in the Tascadero, too. The guys from San Luis Obispo, Otis Butter Shop, Mr. Otis. He had a jalopy, and when I was working for Todd, we used to line this car every Saturdays, and that was the old Fords that was running up there.
So, Sean, what do they call? Is there a certain class of racing that goes on there at Santa Maria Raceway, or what can people expect to see there?
It's a dirt circle track, so there's numerous classes for the track. It's an 8-mile track. The actual track surface is clay. It's wet down clay, and there's all the way from slow cars. There's actually go-karts for little kids. They have a kids class that races in the infield. It's absolutely adorable. I tell you what, those little guys are competitive. And then they've got regular cars like mine is an 84 Mustang. 4-cylinder car that I race in the hobby stock or the mini stock class. Cars like the 70s Monte Carlos and there's even a Cadillac out there that races. And I tell you what, that thing is funny to watch because it's just a big old boat of a car. And then they have really, really fast high horsepower units that come out later in the evening. And it's a blast, man. It's an absolute blast, especially if you're a gearhead. The lower stock classes, like the hobby stock and the mini stock, are extremely competitive. There's a lot of racers. Last year, I believe there was, 18 or 19 people on average in the mini stock class.
Wow.
Which is a lot of cars for that track.
And you can go down and talk to the drivers and look at the cars and stuff like that? How much can you do of that?
After the races are over, they open up the pits to everyone, so everybody's welcome to come down there and check everything out. During the race, they have it blocked off because
of course
they do serve beer there, so they keep the drivers away from that.
Hey, do you ever have destruction, Tabby?
Honestly, I have no idea, although I have heard of one coming to the area
There is one that happens in this county, but it's down in Napomo.
Oh, yeah?
But I don't remember where it is. I went to one.
Yeah, right.
I went to one years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. It's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly where it was. It might have been fairgrounds?
Usually the
like
bigger vehicles, Cadillacs and big old Buicks and Chryslers and so forth, they back up and run into each other and having a ball.
I've always wanted to go to one, but I've never had the opportunity.
Yeah.
So, Sean, I'm imagining people can look this up online and see the dates and the races and get tickets and all of that.
Yeah, it's SantaMariaRaceway.com. I'm not a representative of them. I'm just a local racer.
Yeah.
Like I said, anybody want to take your kids just to see cars getting beat up? And because, in circle track racing, rubbing's racing.
Yeah.
So,
so it's
like last year, my first race, somebody rolled right in front of me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Sounds like a lot of fun. All right, Sean. Well, thank you very much for talking to us about it. We're going to put that out to the airways and see if other people have gone down there and enjoyed it, and we'll talk about it some more.
Very good, guys.
Thanks again. Happy New Year. You were the first caller this year, so stop by Continental Motor Works and pick up a prize.
All right. My name is Sean Jones, so I'll come down there.
Thanks a lot, Sean, and good luck with your racing season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, Sean Jones calling about racing down at Santa Maria Race. Anybody else been down there and enjoyed it? I know one of the guys that works for us at Continental Motorworks, Ray, is a big racing fan. I know he goes down there sometimes, and he just loves it. He takes his kids down, and they have a blast.
You know, you get involved in this stuff, and I was up at that Tascadero, and I was watching these guys go around, and especially in the beginning, before the race, they packed the clay down, so then you go out there and drive. So I was invited to go out and drive, and I had my helmet with me, and I got in the car. It was Otis's car, and I started driving around. First time, getting about 40 miles an hour, and pretty good. Second time around, I got up to 45 miles an hour, and now my back end was hanging out around the corners. I was doing good. The third time around, I was doing about 55 miles an hour, and I was doing really good, man. I was really racing. And then one guy passed me. There was another guy on the track. He passed me like I was standing still.
Yeah.
I pulled into the pits and said, "Thank you."
That's enough.
That's enough.
Now I don't want to go that fast. No. Right.
No, I've had a lot of fun at the Santa Maria Raceway too, because we used to. One of the stations in here used to sponsor a car, so we'd go in there and have a great time. It's been a while since I've been there, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've never done it.
It really is a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's great for the whole family, too, really.
Okay.
So, it can also be very expensive.
Santa Maria Race.
Well, it can be, yeah. But it is fun.
I'm sure.
But, when you think about going to a movie or something like that, it's
right.
It's not any more expensive than that, or less.
Hey, we're the Motor Mouse, Matt and Jeff. We are here till 9 a.m., and we are a live call-in car talk show, and we invite your calls, and we welcome your calls. We would love your calls. 543-8830. Give us a call. So,
let's go to a break. We got break time.
You want to go to break? Okay, it's 8:18 already.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
I know we blew through that first 20 minutes of the show.
We're going to pay a little freight from our sponsors here, who we really appreciate, BG Products and Absolute Auto, and we'll be back. Please call us, 543-8830.
And it brought to mind this last call one of our favorite commercials, and it's for a TV. It's for a car, but it's a toy car. Okay, the Kenner Smash Up Derby set.
That Kenner Smash.
He's a demolition demon in a beat-up Chevrolet. It ain't worth $1, so he wrecks it every day. Now here is Kenner's SSB Smash-Up Derby set, and you can hoot and holler, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Crash, bang, crack 'em up, put 'em back again. Crash, bang, smash 'em up, it's smash-up time, my friend. Kenner's SSP Smash-Up Derby set comes with everything you see right here.
When it's time to service your car,
or a warning light is starting to glow,
go see the pros at Absolute Auto.
At the corner of Sacramento and Capitolio.
Having a problem with the brakes or the steering down below?
Or an alignment to adjust the tow?
Computer systems, they do know.
Call 543-8737 to reach Absolute Auto.
Hi, this is Jeff Spevack, Motormouth co-host and owner of Continental Motorworks. What can you expect here at Continental? We will treat you and your car with care and respect and gratitude. We will bend over backwards to earn your trust. You will fully understand what we are doing on your car and know how much it will cost before we do the work. You will always get value, a fair exchange. You work hard for your money. We believe we should work smarter and harder for what you pay us for. Now in our 36th year, we fix it all. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids.
Call Jeff at Continental Motorworks at 541-1464. Mention this ad and receive 10% off labor.
Here's some inside information to get your gas mileage back. Inside your engine, carbon builds up, clogging the injectors and combustion area. If you want your fuel system cleaned in just one tank of fuel, use what the inside car guys use most. It's called BG44K. In fact, service managers use it almost 3-to-1 over any other fuel system cleaner. To find a shop with BG products, go to bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
BG.
Hey, we're back. We're the Motor Mouse. We're Matt and Jeff. We're here till 9 a.m. to talk with you about your car, and you call us at 543-8830, and we can do that. And we have Steve from SLO on the line. Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good.
We're a lot better off here in our 50-degree weather than we are back east. And if I may, I'd like to talk about the horrific conditions. I was just listening to a report on the radio about it's so bitterly cold, below zero, that the salt is not working very well on the roads.
Salt doesn't work below 20 degrees, below zero.
You know, Matt has a little experience with that, being from Norway.
Well, no. Norway is
I know that he's not cold-hearted, but it is cold there.
Well, you know, it was colder. I worked in Vermont. We had 32 below zero. We had 31 one day, 32 the next day.
That's cold.
And back to 30 days.
Very cold.
And, you know, the thing is that you have so much clothes on, you can't move.
You can't move, right? Oh. Right, you're packed.
And, like, the salt is below 20. Same thing as skating. You need to go skating if it's real cold.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. The skates will stick to the ice.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go ahead, Steve.
Unbelievably cold back there.
Yeah, it has a big effect on everything.
People are barely able to move. It's really dangerous. One fellow that was a truck driver, a tow truck driver, was talking about, I got a big rig that I got to haul out, you know, before I can go to lunch. And it's just a nightmare. And here, California drivers have no real experience unless they go to Tahoe or Mammoth, and then they may get into some rough weather up in those places. It can happen up at 8,000 feet. Yeah. But here, we don't have anybody that's trained that hasn't lived back east, if you have, but if you're born in California, you've never driven anywhere else, you would have no clue. They take students out to train them. You're required to do lessons in the summer and in the winter. They put you into a huge empty parking lot, put the cars at 50 miles an hour into spins, and teach you how to get out of it.
You know, in Norway, on driver's license, you have to take special classes in snow driving and at night driving. So that goes on your driver's license, that you have these different things.
I remember, you know, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and so, you know, you'd have snow packs, and you'd have you'd be driving, and basically you just going straight. You don't slam on your brakes.
Oh, no.
And you just follow the pathway of the tread,
yes.
you know, and you hope for the best sometimes because sometimes the visibility is so bad. Most people, you know, you learn how to drive by experience through that. And you realize, you know, how unsafe it can be.
Well, I was going up to Arrowhead with a bunch of family, and it was such a heavy fog at the time that I had to actually get my wife to get out, walk 10 feet in front of the car with a flashlight, so I wouldn't go over the side of the road for about a half a mile. We did that because you could not see at all more than just a foot in front of your bumper, and it was
scary.
Really,
I wanted to point out too. We had kind of like that same problem the other day here because we had that first little bit of rain.
It was thick on yesterday morning.
And I actually went over to Morro Bay on 41, came back from 41 to Tascadero from Morro Bay to Tascadero on 41, and you start getting up to that cloud, and all of a sudden it's wet and you can't see very far, and PG&E was actually doing some construction up there because there was an accident earlier in the day, and they were having to fix a power pole up there. And you have to really pay attention.
Yeah. So tools of this time of year to drive. Number one, use your headlights. Put your headlights on when, you know, whoa-ho, wipers on, headlights on. Yeah. But when you got that thick fog, realize that other people can't see you. So put your headlights on, defroster, wipers. Yeah. And slow down. Especially all of those things together.
Especially if you got a
every few years, you hear about these 100-car fog accidents over in the Central Valley, where all of a sudden They hit the fog.
Yeah.
Nobody can see, and they show pictures of car after car slamming into the car in front of them.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, what is your telephone number?
It's 234-1056.
So
this is Steve from Precision Driving School, by the way.
That's my cell phone.
Well, I mean, I might want to call you and talk to you about driving.
Okay, it's 788-0900, and I am leaving. I've got to be at Slow High in 2 minutes.
Oh.
I've got 3 lessons today, but, I would very much enjoy either having a cup of coffee with you and Jeff. It would be great. And I'd love to talk to you about driving, sure.
So that number was 788-0900.
Yes, and there's absolutely no truth that the most drivers you have to be most aware of out here are blondes. It's not true.
Hey, Steve, when you have a chance, Steve, call us back. I have a lot of elderly customers asking about how do they know that they're still good enough to drive? How can they tell? How can they be tested?
Well, most people haven't had any training since they were a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly you get in your 70s and 80s, and you get called in by the DMV, and they want to check you out, or you get pulled over because you're doing something by an officer, you're driving too slow, or you're not, they just sense that you're, and they want you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we do get seniors that do take lessons with us with pretty reasonable success. As I have always put it, no matter what age you are, it's the DMV that's taking you out, and it's not a test. It is an evaluation of your skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I got 3 minutes to get to
Okay, Steve. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Steve Sykonoff from Precision Driving School, one of our online safety guys, and they run a driving school. So those of you out there, that want to take a refresher class in driving, they offer that. You don't have to just be learning how to drive, as a entry driver. You can take a refresher class, and there's other ways. I know there's I think AARP also offers classes for seniors, and I think AAA might also offer some classes for seniors. And it's a good idea to be aware of that. I was very impressed. I have a couple of elderly customers who are saying, "Okay, my kids are saying I'm okay to drive, but I'm not sure." And so,
well, that's true.
So I say, well, have you gotten in any accidents lately? No. Have you? Because sometimes, customer comes in and they got like 10 little dents in their car.
Yeah, right.
It's like you've been hitting things.
Yeah.
Even if it's just been parking berms. And things like that. But that's a sign. Is your vision good? Is your reaction time good? Do you feel safe out there? Do you feel like you're, you've got all of your senses at.
When you get old, you get more cautious.
Yeah.
And if you get too cautious, you become a danger.
Yeah, there's too cautious.
Yeah, you're too cautious.
Yeah.
So
I like cautious.
Yeah, I like it too.
But I'm not too cautious.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You can't be driving too slow.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
I mean, say I'm old enough that I'm going to come up now for maybe a new driver's license. I don't know when. Yeah. Mine is good for a while. Before I get up for that new driver's license, I got to go out and go driving with a teacher and find out how good am I as far as making decisions on when to get into traffic and so forth.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I'm lucky. See, I never had an accident. Never. I mean, I had a fender bender when I was young.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I never had.
Never had an accident?
Never had an accident.
Wow.
No. I learned to drive it in Norwegian military on a big airport with a military truck. Military 3/4 ton Dodge.
And you think that was a good lesson right there?
Yeah, well, you learn that, and you learn to drive convoy. Convoy driving.
Yeah, you can drive anything then.
Oh, yeah, I've driven anything from a 48-ton tank. So
you were talking about that. My definition of being a cautious driver, I drive the speed limit a lot, okay? Most people don't. And so I have people come up and they get mad at me because I'm driving the speed limit. Like going down Johnson at 35 miles an hour. Most people are going 45.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Maybe even faster.
Yeah.
People come up and they dart around you and give you a look and what's wrong with driving the speed limit?
Mm-hmm.
And even driving 5 miles an hour under the speed limit, there's nothing wrong with that. I think people of the definition of what a cautious driver is and overly cautious driver is certainly debatable. And so I think driving slower, you're safer, your reaction time is longer, your stopping distance is shorter. All of those things make a safer driver. And so,
but I understand that. But when you're on the highway and everybody's doing 70, 75, obviously, and then you get behind somebody that's doing 40.
Yeah, 40 is different.
45,
Yeah, that's different.
So maybe,
no, that's too slow.
Yeah.
No, but I think 5 miles under the speed limit is acceptable.
Okay.
I think anything more than that would be considered.
I was down in L.A. here a couple of weeks ago. I was on 10. And everybody at one section there were driving 85 miles an hour.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
And they say drive with the flow of traffic, but I think sometimes that's scary.
I mean, that was the flow of traffic. All the lanes were going the same speed.
It's nice. So one nice thing, being in a big motorhome, people stay away from you. I mean, people understand that you're going slower.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And you're out of the pack of those cars that are all doing,
I know.
15 miles over the speed limit and all of that. And so you just get in a groove. And you stay away from the packs of cars, and you enjoy it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that.
Well, what's scary is some of the highways up in, maybe even here, but some of the highways up in Idaho and everything, they're 80. Their posted speed limit is 80 miles an hour, and
it's fast. It's too fast.
So then you get somebody that's then it's of course pushing it another 10, 15. Yeah. So you have somebody
going 95
miles an hour.
That's ridiculous.
And
80 is too fast.
Yeah, that's where it's dangerous.
Sorry, your reaction time and your stopping distance and all of that. I think it's just crazy.
Yeah,
I don't agree with it.
No, I think we got better brakes. I mean, in the 80s, on some of those vehicles, they could make one stop on the brakes without overheating them. From 65 miles an hour down to 0.
Sure.
Not the second stop. I've tried that twice, and you would fade out the brakes.
Yeah.
So today's cars are much safer, and that's probably the reason that you can do it. And, of course, the steering is more accurate. And so
I mean, cars are definitely, the technology is amazing to do that, but that doesn't mean you should.
No, I agree.
Hey, we're the Motor Mouse. Our phone lines are open at 543-8830. We're talking about whatever you want to talk about, so call us, 543-8830. Let's talk to Anita from Los Osos. Hi, Anita. Good morning.
Well, good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
We're good. Yeah, we're all doing good. How about you?
Okay. I've got a 2010 Prius. Mm-hmm. I just got a set of tires, Michelin tires on it, and they balanced it, but they didn't align it. Mm-hmm. And I wondered, is that something that I need to have done?
Well, you need to have it. Well, how did the old tires wear? How many miles did you get on the old tires?
I got just under 40,000 miles.
Well, see, then that means the alignment is probably very good. If the alignment was off, or the car pulls to one side or another when you take it and take your hands a little bit loosely around the steering wheel, then you need to have it checked.
Uh-huh.
But you don't have to have it aligned. You can check the alignment, and that should be pretty simple. But since you got 40,000 miles on the old tires, and they weren't even more even, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. It drives pretty straight, when I'll be on the freeway and I take my hands off the steering wheel, and it doesn't pull to either the right or the left. So.
And is the steering wheel centered so it's not off like an inch one way or the other?
Yes.
Okay. I heard one alignment guy that I know very well. He mentioned that would be a key indicator. Yeah. So have you ever hit a curb or a parking berm or something hard?
Yeah.
So that might throw you. I think your vehicle is now 8 years old.
Yes.
And if you've never had the alignment checked, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Just to go in, even though it's probably just fine. I think it would be well worth it to have it checked. But if your tires wore evenly for 40,000 miles, that's a good indicator that your alignment is probably fine. And Priuses don't have a problem.
Now, some places, there's a difference in alignment. Some places will only do part of an alignment and call it an alignment. But I would take, if I were you, if you want to take and check it out, I don't charge very much. I don't know how much very much is, but take it to Absolute Auto Tech.
Absolute Auto
Absolute,
Tech?
yeah. They have a brand new alignment machine. I think that's actually two. They can align anything from the smallest vehicle. If you got more than 3 wheels, they can align it. And trucks, they can do them.
Do you have more than 3 wheels on that?
Yeah.
I think she does.
Where are they located?
Corner of Capitolio and Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, I know, up by the Graduate.
Correct.
Yeah, no, next corner down towards town.
Yes, yes. By the Graduate, yes.
543-8737.
8727. Okay, I thank
Tell
you
Matt
very much.
And so, Anita, have you had your Prius since new?
Yes, I have.
Nice. So how do you like your car?
I love it. In fact, I called you last month about getting tires, and you suggested that I put Michelin's on it, which I did.
Smart move.
And I also talked to you about the seat being so low because I'm short and I have to sit on a pillow. And you recommended that I should have the seat remade.
Or find a way to raise it, or put a seat backing in there, something to raise you up a little. Have you been able to do something?
Yes, I did.
What did you do?
It works perfect.
So what did you use?
Car. I get between 48 and 53 miles to the gallon.
It's amazing.
It is.
So what did you do to raise yourself up, Anita, in the seat?
I just put a what do you call it? A support on my lower back.
And did you buy that online or did you buy it locally? I'm just wondering which product you used.
I'm not sure.
I suggested one that was a little bit on the expensive side, but I don't know if you bought that one or if you got another one.
No, I probably bought a cheaper one.
Well, but you like it. So when you find out the name of it and where you got it, will you call us back and let us know?
Sure.
Because I have a lot of people that are interested in that.
Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, that would be helpful. But I'm glad that worked out. It really does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does. It makes a big difference.
That's awesome. Thank you, Anita. We appreciate your call and being a part of the show.
You're mighty welcome.
All right. Happy New Year. All right. So we've had calls from Sean and Steve and Anita so far to make this a really interesting show. We're going to go to our second break of the day. We're the Motor Mouse. We're Matt and Jeff. We are a live call-in car talk show, and we invite you to call us at 543-8830. We'll be back in a few.
And I got a classic commercial here for the 1966 Ford Thunderbird.
A T-Bird, 66.
Let Thunderbird 1966 put you a touch away from personal luxury. Enter the town landau with its distinctive new roofline. You're a touch away from Thunderbird's unique overhead safety panel. The personal touch, an optional stereo tape player with 4 speakers. A full-width taillight houses sequential turn signals, and there is an optional speed control system to maintain constant speed. For power, you can have a new 428 cubic inch V8. And no one can steal that flawless Thunderbird look. Thunderbird 66, unique in all the world.
When it's time to service your car,
or a warning light is starting to glow,
go see the pros at Absolute Auto.
At the corner of Sacramento and Capitolio.
Having a problem with the brakes or the steering down below?
Or an alignment to adjust the tow?
Computer systems, they do know.
Call 543-8737 to reach Absolute Auto.
Your car's fuel economy was never better than when it was new. But time and miles have robbed your car of its MPG and performance. Service managers recommend BG44K to remove carbon and restore mileage in just 1 tank of fuel. In fact, dealerships nationwide use BG44K almost 3-to-1 over any other product. To find a shop at BG Products, go to bgfindashop.com.
BG. Can you imagine selling your car next week and saying to the buyer, hey, don't worry, because the engine is covered against failure for life. It's called the Lifetime Protection Plan for the Engine from BG Products. Now imagine having this huge benefit free with your next oil service when you remember these 2 letters, BG. BGMOA is available at over 20,000 shops nationwide. Find yours at bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com. BG.
Hi, this is Jeff Spevack, Motormouth co-host and owner of Continental Motorworks. What can you expect here at Continental? We will treat you and your car with care and respect and gratitude. We will bend over backwards to earn your trust. You will fully understand what we are doing on your car and know how much it will cost before we do the work. You will always get value, a fair exchange. You work hard for your money. We believe we should work smarter and harder for what you pay us for. Now in our 36th year, we fix it all. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids.
Call Jeff at Continental Motorworks at 541-1464. Mention this ad and receive 10% off labor.
Reminds me of 2 things, this song. For Audrey Hepburn, I guess this was I think it was Breakfast at Tiffany's. And then, Andy Williams singing it too. So,
well, my grandmother had she didn't have the Thunderbird like we played before, which of course was the background music, but she had an old Cadillac, and she would put in her 8-track.
And the 8-track, yeah. And
Henry
listen
Mancini.
To this.
Yes. So
I had an 8-track.
Yeah.
In fact, I had an 8-track recorder.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy.
So yeah, that dates me.
Boy, you used to.
And then the big switch to cassettes. You had to throw out all your 8-tracks, and then I had a million cassettes, and then you had to throw all the. I still have them.
I remember the 8-tracks would switch in the middle of the song too.
Oh right.
Remember that?
Yeah, they were pretty clunky.
And at the end, the song would be halfway through the song, and then they'd have to switch to the other side.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, we're the Motor Mouth Show. Matt and Jeff, we're here and talking about cars and whatever you'd like to talk about cars. It'd be wonderful. We still invite your calls. We're here for another 17 minutes at 543-8830. Whatever you want to talk about, whether it be technical or fun, something funny, something you're having a hard decision with on your car, having a problem with on your car, we're here to help you. 543-8830. So I do have a topic.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a topic?
Or 2 or 3. Yeah. You know what? Let's talk about new laws for motorists. So it is 2018, yes. Let's see. Marijuana impaired driving.
Yes.
You see all these messages. It's the one common message now up there. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, So following voter approval of Proposition 64, which legalized recreational marijuana use, Senate Bill 65 prohibits smoking or ingestion of marijuana or any marijuana product while driving or riding as a passenger in a motor vehicle.
It's the same thing as having a can of open beer.
Yeah.
Well, part of it, too, is like if you're smoking it, then, of course, it gets into the air, and then you get that contact buzz, which is just as bad. So,
well, I never had it, so, I mean, you can tell me about
it. So that's something that's a new frontier now that and I don't know how they can test people to see, it's not like a regular breathalyzer. Yeah. So that'd be interesting to hear when we have our highway patrolman on again, ask him what they're doing about that. Disabled placards. DMV to reform procedures for issuing and renewing disabled parking placards. I guess there's too many of them. There's a lot of them. People out there abusing them.
Obviously,
you see somebody come up and they walk briskly into the store. It just doesn't look like they need it. So smog fee. So the state isn't getting enough money because there's too many electric cars and hybrid cars out there. So currently, new vehicles are exempt from smog checks for the first 6 years. Unless they're sold or transferred after the 4th year. In lieu of a smog check, owners pay a $20 a year fee for vehicles 6 years or newer. Assembly Bill 1274 extends the time period that new vehicles are exempt from smog checks to 8 years.
Wow.
but extends and increases the fee during the 7th and 8 years to $25.
So you got to pay.
You got to pay no matter what.
Yeah. So okay, what a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. Okay. Parking. Assembly Bill 1625 enacts a statute that generally bans local jurisdictions from prohibiting parking at inoperable parking meters. Okay. So if you got an inoperable parking meter, you can park there.
Yeah.
That's their problem. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that one.
There you go. Yeah, fix it.
Can we go break some downtown?
So there's not too many real exciting new laws here, so mostly about fees and things like that. So other thing to talk about is what my wife and I were talking this morning. Hey, what should we talk about on the radio show today? And she said, why don't you give people a 15-minute car appreciation? So what can you do to bring your car some flowers? You know, your car does so much for you. What can you do to appreciate your car easily, like in a 15-minute thing? And I thought this was good stuff, so we kind of went off on it. So, number one, you can wash the windows inside and out. And you'd be amazed at, a lot of times I wash the inside of a customer's windshield, and it's never been washed.
Yeah.
The vehicle's 10 years old, and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
Customer says,
sure.
What did you do to my car?
Yeah.
You know, it's clean. You must have washed it. I go, I washed the inside of your windshield.
Yeah. You know that the plastic in the dash evaporates up into the window and get a layer on the window. And sometimes that stuff, for some years, it was worse than all
the film. Yeah,
it's film, and that's very difficult to get off.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, they say you should use vinegar and water and newspaper. They say it's supposed to be the best.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's a good thing. That helps a lot. Gives you a nice fresh visual. It's nice to have really clean windows. And then cleaning. So cleaning the cup holders, getting some of those Armor All pads and cleaning the dash and the steering wheel, that grime that's been on your steering wheel for 15 years, and the dash and the doors and the center console and all of that stuff.
Well, you know, the house might talk to the car and say, hey, I got dusted today.
That's
Did you?
That's right.
Did you?
Exactly.
Then your car might leave you somewhere because it didn't get dusted at the same time as the house did. See? There it is. The appliances talk to each other.
They talk to each other. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, don't.
Well, doesn't that depend on where you park it?
So, of course, doing something for your wheels is nice. You know, one of the things that you might notice is your wheels get dusted from the brakes. And so you might have that on your hubcaps or your wheels or whatever. So doing a treatment on your tires where you clean the tires, check the tire pressures, check the tread, number one. That's important. But then also cleaning, you know, they make some sprays that are meant just for wheels, clean wheels. And some of them you don't even have to hose off. You just spray it on there and it takes that grime off of there. And that makes a big difference in the way your car looks. So treating your tires and your wheels. The other thing is organizing your trunk or your tailgate area. So you got all that stuff that's thrown in there. Take it out. Get a couple of nice baskets or containers in there and organize or throw stuff out.
Yeah,
well, you know, there's a good point to that, too, because I had one car one time, and I was just really bad about this. I was a kid, you know, I was really bad about just throwing stuff in the glove box and forgetting about it.
Yeah, right. Well, probably had some important stuff in there.
Well, yeah, and then one day I had so much junk in there, I couldn't get the glove box open.
Right.
And I wound up having to take the glove box apart to get it open.
Right.
So just going in there and just throwing out stuff you really don't need anymore.
Yeah,
like
all the stuff you stuffed in there.
Registrations for 10 years ago. Get rid of it.
That's why they call it stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then remember, you know, once you've thrown stuff out and get the important and get it organized, number one, it feels really good. And number two,
it doesn't rattle as bad.
That's right. Yeah, and then you might want to have a little emergency kit, which you can put together yourself and just put it in a bag. You know, so you know, just in case. So like a bottle of water and maybe an energy bar and a flashlight with extra batteries and a blanket.
And maybe a fire
extinguisher. Things like that to have in the back in one little basket in your car make a big difference in case, hopefully, it's like buying insurance. Hopefully you never need it, but if you do, it could save your life.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, maybe even going down to Dollar Tree or something and getting a little bottle of hydrogen peroxide, a little thing of Band-Aids in case you get out there and you got to do something to your car.
Yeah.
And maybe you get a little scratch.
Yeah.
You know, so you can clean it up a little bit. You know?
There you go.
So, yeah.
Good ideas.
Well, one thing that people forget, and that is, number one, to check the air pressure in a spare tire.
Yeah.
And number two is that be sure the spare tire is tied down.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a customer one time that came in and was always complaining
about a rattle.
That he had not a rattle, had a bang in the back of the car if he went over a bump.
Yeah.
And he told him, I said, well, and he had his back of the car absolutely trunk full of stuff.
You couldn't get in there.
Couldn't get in there.
Yeah.
So he came back 2 or 3 times. He said he didn't fix it. So I took it on the freeway, and he told me that there was a place on the freeway, 65 miles an hour. He went over that, you would hear the bang. So he did, and sure enough, it did go bang. So I told him, "Oh, just take and fasten down the spare tire." Spare tire was coming up and going back down. You know,
keeps life exciting.
There was an old Cadillac.
Yeah, yeah.
So that took care of that. So that's important. But also check the air pressure in especially these small donut tires they have now, which carries 50-some pounds. Mm-hmm. And if they don't have that, you should make sure that those spare tires have 50-some pounds.
And once you put that spare tire on there, make sure you go get your regular tire fixed. Don't be driving around with that spare. We see cars out there with the spare tire on there regular. That's not a permanent replacement.
No.
The other safety thing that we see a lot is very important that the driver's floorboard of the car doesn't have, bottle of water rolling around down there, or a buckled up carpeting, or something that could affect your pedals.
Right, exactly.
So, number one, if you got an old carpet in there that isn't flat, just get rid of it.
Yep.
And then I really like, WeatherTech or some of these really heavy duty rubber mats. So clean that area, get a nice mat down there. Pay, a little, don't pay $5, but get a nice $20 or $30 nice mat that'll last you forever. That's got, it collects the dust and the gravel and everything. You can just take it out and dump it out, and you don't even have to vacuum sometimes. Right. And it keeps it just keeps the area around your pedals clean. You want to get rid of any junk that could get behind your pedals, because we've seen that a lot where people, I've had people tell me, I don't have any power. Well, your carpet is buckled up behind your
gas pedal,
and you can't get your gas pedal.
Well, the same thing happens with brakes.
Yeah.
They get up behind the brake pedal. You push down, and you push and the car won't stop as good as it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had one person calling, but you're not getting through, so try again. Love to talk to you. Phone lines are open, 543-8830 to reach your Motor Mouse. I mean, Matt and I can talk and talk and talk. We're Motor Mouse, but we'd rather talk to you, so please call us. 543-8830. So a couple other things that you can do for your car. 15-minute car therapies.
Now we're getting heavy.
Okay, how about vacuuming and shampooing and aromatherapy in your car? So you know how much
aromatherapy.
Making it smell good.
Oh, I see. A woofo. They used to call that woofo juice.
So your carpeting has absorbed all these odors and dirt for all these years. So number one, you vacuum it. Number two, you get some carpet shampoo thing, and you get that in there. And then you can, they make like that Arm & Hammer scented powder. You spread it on there. Keep your doors and windows open for a while. Let it just air out, and then vacuum it out. And your car goes, and you do too.
I see.
Yeah, so it makes everything just smell better.
What about your cabin filter?
Cabin air filter, something that gets ignored a lot. We've seen some nasty ones lately.
Yeah, well,
especially after the fire.
After the fire, that's one of the things that we're talking about. That you should take and check that, and your air filter.
Yeah.
The air filter for the engine is the same thing.
That's right.
2 filters.
Very important. I had a customer another lack of power. Did these people didn't get through, huh?
For some reason we're having a telephone problem with them.
So they had a mouse nest in their air cleaner.
Yeah, I
was blocking up the air.
Yeah, it cost me.
Put a new air filter in there, cleaned out the mouse nest. Back to good power.
Well, see, mine, they had not only gotten into the cleaner, they got in underneath the dash, too.
Yeah.
And into the
ventilation.
Squirrel cage.
The squirrel cage. Yeah.
So
that's right. That's the blower motor.
Yeah, the blower motor.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happens. You know,
one thing we've talked about the spare lots of times, but is there anything you need to do? Because for one thing, you don't use your spare jack a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you should kind of be looking for, like these hydraulic jacks that you use? Maybe
well, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Most people, to be honest, these days are probably not going to use their jack. Most people call AAA. If you should have a flat tire, most people that I know or most of my customers are not going to get out there on the road and jack up their car and put a spare on it. But if you are the person that will do that, or if you're out in the middle of nowhere, it is good to know how to do that, to go through at least a trial session of taking the jack out, operating it, see how it works, see where it hooks up, and see how to take your tire off and all of that. I think that's a great lesson, especially for any new driver or young drivers.
Well, one of the problems you run into, I run into this as teaching on Hancock in Santa Maria, mm-hmm. that the lug nuts have been tightened too tight by the people that put new tires on. Mm-hmm. And we got into cases where the impact wrenches at school trying to take the lug nuts off wouldn't take them off.
Yeah.
And we tried to put a torque wrench on it, and it took 180-pound torque to loosen it.
It's crazy.
I mean, and
just been hammered on there.
Yeah. So the thing is that if you go in and have new tires put on, or you had a flat fixed, make sure that the people that put the tire on use that.
Yeah, these are good questions to ask. We say, make sure, you just say, you can even say to them, hey, what's going to be the torque on my lug nuts?
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
Make sure they know that and make sure that they're doing that.
Right.
And do a special request to do that. There's nothing wrong with asking the proper questions and learning more about your car. And these are the kind of things we talk about on the Motor Mouth Show here. So hey, we're going to have to close this show down. We want to thank Sean and Steve and Anita for making it way more interesting by calling us.
What about Steve?
Yeah, Steve too.
Oh, okay.
we want to thank our sponsors, BG Products. You can look them up at bgfindashop.com. And featuring such great products as 44K fuel cleaner and synthetic transmission fluids and gear oils. Absolute Auto, go see Jason and Charlotte at the corner of Capitolio and Sacramento, featuring excellent automotive service and repairs on your car, local and expert. Continental Motor Works, we are at 1101 Laurel Lane. You can reach us at 805-541-1464. Our hours are 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. And Bike Slow County, advocating for better and safer transportation throughout our county. Well, it's a little foggy out there, so, if Motor Mouth say, use your headlights, use your defroster, use your wipers, drive a little slower out there, be cautious out there and have fun. You know what? The safest thing you can do is leave early. Leave early and enjoy the ride and drive the speed limit.
Now, do you have windshield wipers or glass wipers when you bicycling in this weather?
Yeah, those are manual. That's called your hand.
Oh, that's your hand. I see.
Enjoy it out there. Have a good week. Write your Motor Mouth questions down for next week. Matt and Jeff will be back next Saturday morning. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, man.